So we're going to talk about Mother's Day today. Um, and we're going to start off with the special significance that it has in Buddhism, that being a mother goes beyond just a biological function or a role. And in Buddhism, it includes figures like the Buddha's mother and stepmother, Maya and Mahaprajapati. And they played pivotal roles in his life and were an aspiration for Buddhist nuns and a role model for compassion.
So Buddhism emphasizes the universal concept of motherly compassion. Compassion is often, compared to that of a mother to one's child. And it's seen in the descriptions of Buddhist saints. We don't talk about that ourselves, and then in this really high ideal of bodhicitta, that we could care equally for all beings, which yeah, I can't do that.
It's an interesting aspiration that's stated all throughout the Buddhist texts, though. It's so predominant that it even overlaps a bit with the Christianity that I came into Buddhism with, of treat everybody as your mother, so that you're going to be reborn in a better life. That it's really, there's a reason to do this. It's not just for your own enlightenment, it's for the enlightenment of everybody.
So now I've got a question about Christianity. So you would be, if you did this in Christianity, would you be more likely to be reborn in heaven then? Is that, or to go to heaven? It's not
Go
reborn.
to, yeah, not the rebirth, but it is, there's more of a guarantee that you tried, and that at the end of the judgment day, you'll get some good marks.
And so this is such an interesting contrast with the fact that we're talking about two patriarchal religions, where we can see the patriarchy, marveled throughout, and yet this very high ideal of motherhood, maybe actually it fits together uh, in a not so great way.
Or in a way of, like, for example, if you're going to be reborn in a Buddhist sense, that you would be reborn as a male,
Right.
um, and be able to become the highest role, the Buddha, or in Christianity, the Pope. Um, but if you're a woman, you would only be able to be reborn as an arhat, which is kind of like a bishop, or like a high supporter of the Buddha, or a bodhisattva, like Kuan Yin, somebody that holds that compassion but never becomes the Buddha.
Right, right, right. Limits on the female gender, yes. However, this was a day that we honor the
Right.
mother. Um, so the Buddhist concept of motherly love, extends, right? We're talking about it extending to all beings, not just to your children or your foster children, your adopted children, your stepchildren, but to all beings. Um, you know, and in Buddhist teaching, that's often described as enlightened beings having a maternally compassionate nature. Oh, this is characterized by endless patience. Endless. Can you imagine having endless patience? It's a nice ideal, but I don't know. And care for others. And again, in
Yeah.
stark contrast, there's the view that in Buddhism, if you practice diligently, you'll get reborn as a man, not as a, by the way, as a woman or a mother.
Yeah. It's interesting as you were saying that, this endless patience and this for all beings. I think in meditation, I've had kind of times where that expands to something beyond myself, beyond people I know. I do have the idea of what it would be like to have endless patience, or to have more patience than I have with the situations I'm dealing with. So there's something about being able to meditate with some of these larger aspirations that give us like a glimpse into what that would be like, and to hold it just as a possibility or an aim.
Yeah, and I would think about it as not just a glimpse, but also actually an experience, even if it's only for a few minutes.
Yeah.
And that somehow gets marked in the database of
Mm.
experiences. And I don't mean that, literally, but in some way that happens. And so,
Right.
how you know it's possible to have
Right.
more patience.
Right.
I'm totally in favor of that goal, having more patience.
Right.
It's just those high ideals, I'm always bristled by. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then we kind of jump to a practice that I would say is a motherly practice, if we wanted to use those words, of loving kindness, of metta.
Hmm.
Um, this practice that we're, extending love and kindness. We often talk about it, friendliness, standing near something, closer to, but really extending this loving kindness and practicing it in a variety of ways. There's prescribed ways to do it, there's ways it happens naturally, but it is something that is a big part of meditation practice.
And in my values, that I like that wording for, good mothering, good, which is standing near your child,
Yeah.
not, strangling them with your views and your life direction and all that, but really standing near them and supporting them. And that's what, um,
Mm.
well, that's
Mm.
sati. That's sati,
Right. Right.
the standing near. So maybe we're all mothering our experience. Maybe we should change what we're doing from reflective meditation to mothering meditation. No,
Well, here's the
that
other,
would
because yeah, because you just got to something which often goes with mothers, and there's even a term for it, being a helicopter mother right now,
right.
which is when you overdo the role, when you are so involved in mothering everybody or helping everybody, and the kinds of consequences that come from that. I guess you learn from being a mother, right? That's something you learn as the process unfolds.
Yeah, that I hope so. Yeah, yeah.
So we have a possible supposition. Are you there yet? I'm there.
Yeah, sure. Go. Yes.
We think, what if, maybe, provisionally, possibly, that we, Linda and Nellie, are the mothers of reflective meditation.
You know,
Oh, go ahead.
no, so and then when we got there, we just made this up, whatever, 15 minutes ago. So that's why you um,
A
but
lot of caveats.
yeah, right. But if we look at it that through that lens, maybe our practice was orphaned um, by the split, by what our previous teacher did. The practice was orphaned. Um, Pretty sure he wouldn't see it that way, but that we get to have our own views. And so Linda and we've taken it up and we've really given it our all to nurture it, to help it grow, to stand near it, to watch conditions not like lay too heavy a trip upon it.
Right, right. And not only us, but so many of you would fill this role with us. So the reflective meditation is the recipient of many mothers, the child of many mothers that basically has taken it in, adopted it, and put a lot of effort, time, money, energy, spirit, love, etc., to help it grow.
Yeah, so might we say it takes a village to grow a meditation practice?
Yes, I think we might say that, but we'd say it more definitively. I really think that we have come to see that that's one of our truths, small t truths, is that we've needed that. And it's been needed and it's been done.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's
Okay.
many villagers on screen right now. So
Oh yeah, I have to go to my gallery view so I can see you all. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Thank you all.
yeah. So we'll meditate, huh? Hey, could you
Yeah,
ring because I don't have
I
my
sure can. Yeah, it's my turn.